down for a picture now?
Yeah.
Get out the street, man.
Give me the phone, I'll take one of you both together, no?
Kel, what you think, man? I mean, this was supposed to be your fight, right?
Supposed to be, but I've had to come to New York. I've had to come here for Crawford now.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
There you go.
Take a picture with me.
Right.
Well, let's splash on, yeah?
FightJournal.com, baby. KELL BROOK has hit New York. Checking out Crawford versus Khan tonight, Madison Square Garden.
Right there?
Right. Yeah. What brings you out tonight, man?
Supporting Crawford.
Supporting Crawford?
Yeah. Amir's my man too, but you know, just supporting both of them. You know, just out here at the boxing event, just having fun. You know, also BT Newman. You know what I'm saying? We out here, you know, and we doing our thing, you know.
All right, think we're gonna get a knockout tonight?
I don't know. If it's a knockout, it'll be. If anything, it could be a stoppage, a late stoppage. But you know, it might just be a real technical night. You know, we're gonna see.
You say you fighting June
15th.
15th here?
No, at Las Vegas on Fury.
Oh, you're free.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, sir.
All right, no problem.
Here we go to FightJournal.com. Bryant Jennings. Crawford versus Khan, Madison Square Garden. We in here. Tracy Morgan in the house, having a little problem.
Guys, he's got a choice. You're either down that way or you gotta leave.
Damn it. Let's go! Y'all ain't got to go home. You got to get the hell out of here. Buddy ass.
Bryant Jennings getting the workout.
Buddy ass.
Bryant Jennings getting the workout. Bryant Jennings hitting the weight room, getting the workout. Yeah. So I mean, what's your thoughts, man?
You get 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes. He ain't even take the 5 minutes.
He ain't won it.
It's disappointing.
He wants to connect and go home, man.
That's disappointing. So he was saying he wanted to go to the drawing board. That was the board to draw on.
Disappointing is the word of the night, folks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Damn it. Let's go! Y'all ain't got to go home. You got to get the hell out of here.
Here's the front of the shirt and the back of the shirt. It's a nice t-shirt. That was just a little footage from Midtown Manhattan, and the FightJournal.com boxing was in the house, Madison Square Garden, to see Terence Crawford take on Amir Khan. So let's talk about the pay-per-view. The card opened with Felix Verdejo taking on Brian Vasquez. And Verdejo moved to 25 wins, 1 loss, 16 knockouts, with a unanimous decision over Vasquez, who dropped to 37-4 with 20 coming inside the distance. Felix won by scores of 98-92 and 97-93 twice. All right, 10-rounder. Now, I may be in the minority, but I didn't like what I saw Saturday night. Something is off with Felix Verdejo. Now, I wasn't in press row. I was in what you call auxiliary press row. So I was a bit further away. But what I saw live is a guy who appears to have balance problems. And if you don't get balance fixed as a world-class boxer, you could be in serious trouble sooner than later. And I also saw a guy whose fast twitch muscles are not on par for a 25-year-old highly touted prospect. I noticed he tried to land a counter right, like a right counter, all night, and his reactions to Vasquez's punches were too slow all night long. The fast twitch wasn't there defensively either. I just see bad signs. I mean, he got the win. You know, his jab was okay. Jab was decent. But he's going to get hit and knocked out again if things don't change. Something is just off with the kid. I can't really explain it beyond the things I mentioned. Something's off. All right, Shaq Stevenson passed a test many thought he wouldn't, as he outfoxed and outboxed Christopher Diaz by a wide margin. Stevenson won 100-90, 99-91, 98-92. This particular fight, Stevenson just controlled Diaz. Diaz is an aggressive fighter, and Stevenson he controlled him. And so now he's going to be fast-tracked on his road to the championship round. And after the fight, he put all featherweights on notice. And when pressed, he called out Josh Warrington's name. So he has his eyes set on Warrington. And my belief is that they'll pay Warrington much more money than he deserves to have him cross the river. And fight over here in the States. Now, that's Josh Warrington has some business at hand. He's taking on Kid Galahad. So he has to beat Kid Galahad, who's undefeated in himself. And so that's no gimme. So if he beats him, then maybe we'll see a Stevenson-Warrington fight toward the end of the year. And now that I'm thinking about it, well, I'll talk about that a little later. I like to see Shakur Stevenson not waste as much energy moving in the ring like Keith Thurman. A lot of the movement he and Thurman use is unnecessary. I'd also like to see more offensive output from the kid. He's not a knockout guy, but he can be a volume guy, and that volume can lead to technical breakdowns and stoppages that way, instead of your one punch type of thing. So he's a little bit Keith Thurman with the movement. He's a little bit Pete Whitaker, when he wants to be. Also, I want more Whitaker than Thurman. And after the fight, I heard the boos, which confused me a bit. I mean, Shakur kind of danced at the end, but and that started some of the boos, but he didn't need to exchange any more than Diaz forced him to. That's not his game. And when you look at Verdejo, he's winning his fight, and then he got stopped, and he's on his feet. The referee just said, "No, sir." And a guy you saw in the video earlier, BRYANT Jennings, was winning the fight. Just winning the fight, and then the last round he gets stopped. So, no need for that. No, Shakur Stevenson doesn't have the most pleasing style, but there's some bigger fish who will bring out more out of him, and then we'll see if he can swim. In the co-feature, Teofimo Lopez continued the takeover. That's his mantra, the takeover. So he continued with the 5th round knockout over Edis Totley. Now, from my live vantage point, and like I said, I wasn't exactly ringside, and I haven't seen it on television or heard commentators yet, but the body shot Lopez landed didn't seem to be much of anything, just looking at it live, and then the couple of the replays that they run in the arena. However, none of us are Edis Totley, and I've seen guys like Sergey Kovalev stop guys with pretty much similar looking shots. Kovalev's were more like jabs, though. They just jab the guy to the body, and they're going down and rolling around in pain. I guess you got to give Totley the benefit. I mean, he's never been stopped, but and maybe the placement of the punch was exactly where it should have been to kind of get you to be hurt like that. I don't know. But once again, the kid was impressive and scored another impressive stoppage. Now you got to go back in his career, and so he's 13-0, 11 knockouts. And now you got to look at the two. You got to go watch the 2 fights of the guys who survived, and because he's putting it on, and he's must-see TV. I mean, he has everything, like the charisma. Like, if you ever see, he's one of the best interviews out there. So, impressive. I do see a defensive flaw where Teofimo can be hit after he tries to score. It needs to be fixed if he's going to fight Vasily Lomachenko in December, should they both win the next time out. The plan is for Lopez to fight Richard Comey for the IBF World Lightweight title, and then win that, and maybe we have a Lomachenko-Lopez unification in December in New York. And if so, that'll be bananas. Certainly will be in the house for that. In the main event, Terence Crawford stopped Amir Khan in a, still to this moment, confusing outcome. But I think I got it figured out. I'm not sure. If you go back to our pre-fight video, I said one chance Terence Crawford takes that may catch up to him one day is he is a slow starter, and he gives away early rounds by choice or by nature, whatever. Don't know. And had he taken his usual route on Saturday, it may have cost him his title and undefeated record if they followed the rule that most people ringside thought they should have followed. But I think I figured it out. So usually, if a fight is ended on an accidental foul after the round threshold of the given state that you fight in, it usually goes to the scorecards. So in the example in the video, if Crawford would have started slowly and Khan would have been up 5-0, or even 3-2, and they went to the cards, Khan wins. And that's the example we gave in our pre-fight video. But in this case, not only did Crawford get off to a good start, but the New York State Athletic Commission didn't go to the cards. They ruled it a TKO. And so the rule is, if it's an accident, generally you give the hurt fighter 5 minutes, and if he can't continue and they've reached the state's threshold, then you go to the cards. But I think what New York and I think what New York does is they separate low blow accidental foul from all the rest. So, okay, here's what I think the rule is in New York. If it's an accidental foul that causes an injury where the guy can't continue and you are past the round threshold, you go to the cards. Okay? For accidental fouls, such as a headbutt, or a guy falls on another guy and he twists his knee or something and he can't continue. You go to the cards. But if the accidental foul is a low blow, which is still an accidental foul, like a headbutt or a guy falling on a guy and hurting his knee, why not apply the same rule? I don't get it, but instead, for an accidental low blow only, if the guy can't recover, then it's a TKO. It's kind of weird, and I'm sure other states follow suit. The thing about it is, whatever the rule, I'm sure of one thing. Amir Khan made what we call a business decision. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at Khan. I mean, he was getting broken down and he called it a night. He preserved himself for maybe his biggest payday. Yes, bigger than the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight against KELL BROOK. And speaking of Brook, he's an option for Crawford now as much as he is for Khan at this point. So we'll see how that plays out. Crawford wants Errol Spence Jr. And we need this to happen as Crawford is getting up there. He'll be 32 this year, and it needs to happen. Okay? At 32, he's a tad bit past his physical apex, but he's still good. Spence, on the other hand, is at or near his physical prime, so he's definitely good. Crawford maybe a little bit past it. So Khan, they're doing a spin. Some YouTube channels are saying he didn't quit. I think the way they're saying it, though, I believe some of those channels just don't like Terence Crawford, which means they probably are like Premier guys or Errol Spence guys or whatever. And then Khan is giving his spin. I didn't quit, so on and so forth. Yes, Amir, you did. And the thing is, let's say somebody hits you with a shot and you kind of paralyze your legs or what have you. You get a sting, the equivalent of a stinger or a burn, like on your shoulder, like the football players get. Well, Amir, you would have been given 5 minutes to get yourself together, but it's like whatever you said to that snake. Virgil Hunter, they called the fight, and I'm like, no, you take your if you want to fight, you take your 5 minutes and then or less, and then you get back at it. He didn't want to. I'm not completely mad at the guy. He's got like an 8-figure payday coming up. If and when he fights KELL BROOK. What else? Oh, a couple more things. Bob Arum said they can make the fight with Errol Spence Jr. 50-50. Okay, all that A side, B side crap that everybody buys into. Come on, man. But he's saying, skip all that. We can make the fight 50-50, and then they can split the network broadcast if it wants to be broadcast on different networks. So, checkmate. You know, how do you respond to that? Like, you got to take it now, right? Also, Aaron played the race card with his quotes about how Alan Heyman will talk to Spence Jr. And you know what? The old man is right. He's right, whether you hate his comments or not. Then, after the card, before they went off the air, he's in the middle of the ring, and he roasted Al Heyman. And he said he's the holdup. He said he knows Terence wants it. He knows Errol Spence wants it. The problem is clearly Alan Heyman, and he's right. And that's the drawback with Heyman. You want the world to believe you're the most powerful man in sports, or at least in boxing. And you almost solidify it because you don't talk. You say nothing to anyone publicly. But once somebody comes after you, like Aaron did, now it puts you in a shaky position, because either you have to break your MO and talk, or you have to be silent like always, and you got to sit there and take it. So it backfires on you in this current scenario. You know what I mean? Heyman's back continues to be against the wall. All right? Maybe not in every weight class, but at least with this one, with the Crawford thing, with Wilder, and with young Jamal Charlo. You know, it's time to cross the picket line, baby. In closing, I have some T-shirts from the fight to give away. Street level T-shirts, folks, not the ones inside the arena that run you about $35. So I think I showed them earlier. I'll just, here they are again. Right after this, I'll just show you the front and back. Same little clip. All right, so I have one medium-sized shirt. I have 4 extra large shirts. And I have 1 2X. 1 or 2 2X shirts. First come, first serve, so get at me. And I'm going to run the video just to show you a quick glimpse of what the shirts look like on the front and the back. I like the back with the 3 events on it. So there it is. We're heading to Vegas for the Alvarez Jacobs. We'll probably be in Fairfax, Virginia for the a week later for the Hurd versus Williams. Might go to Wilder versus Brazil, and we'll see if we may go to the Golovkin and the AJ. And there's something else I'm missing in between all that. But anyway, we'll catch you on the next one.